A lot of our Spanish viewers will be very happy today because in the background we have the Atletico Madrid stadium. Well, probably not for the Barcelona fans, but well, we'll enjoy the car here, the Ioniq 6 in the front with a cool headlamp design, LED or optional matrix LED, and then the daytime running light has this dot structure and really cool to see it also in the dark. We have some basement garage shots for you. Also, when you activate the turning indicators or hazard lamps, that looks really spectacular already in the front. The length is at 4 meters 85 or 191 inches. That is actually 19 centimeters or 7 inches longer than the Ioniq 5, but it has 5 centimeters or 2 inches shorter wheelbase. We'll see how this one plays an effect in driving. The engineers told me that they have here a stiffer suspension setup for the Ioniq 6, and also the batteries are of course always placed in the lower part of the vehicle, low center of gravity, so we expect a sporty ride. 18 or optional 20-inch wheels. We have here the bigger ones, you can see in a very cool dual tone design, and you can either get classic side mirrors or here these camera digital mirrors which then project on the screen on the inside. We'll see if that makes sense. The door handles here either flush or open like this here at the moment. They come towards you then, and you can see this really sensual silhouette which looks very impressive indeed and all serves aerodynamics. A super interesting design in the rear with this, let's say, 2-spoiler design. And then even more interesting, the light signature right here. We also did some filming for you in the basement garage where you can really see the full glory of this light signature going all the way through. And even more interesting, when you hit the braking light, look at this effect. And although there's just one light strip, it basically shines through the whole area. Wow, that's a cool effect indeed. Talking battery sizes, there are two choices, 77 kilowatt hours or 53 kilowatt hours. Officially, that's the gross figure, Hyundai says. Charging flap on the passenger side, AC DC charging, 180 kilowatt peak with a small battery, 240 kilowatt peak with a big battery. Thanks to this 800 volt architecture, you can get great charging times, 18 minutes from 10 to 80% state of charge. Short sound preview, active sound design in the interior. At the moment it's all off, but just listen to the difference when I set it to enhance, like the strongest mode. Really? Off? Now back again. This is the key fob, and really? I mean, this looks like, I don't know, maybe like a 90s Tamagotchi toy, or maybe also something which vibrates and can be used in other places. I don't know. You tell me in the comments. What is clear that here, the flush door handles, they're open like this. Pretty cool effect. And also here, the side mirrors, even if they are digital, they fold in and out. And have you seen that? Here. Like this signature here in the side. Wow. Really cool, isn't it? Then door closing sound. Yeah, it's quite solid, and inside of the doors, super clean. Even cleaner when the bottle is not on the inside. Look at that clean atmosphere there. And they even moved the window levers to the inside of the vehicle to have this super clean design. Looks cool. Here, this is hard pack though, but it looks cool with the structure on the inside. So the door pockets are really slim, but you have this opening here, so at least you can put some smaller bottles here. You get a very nice entry badge. There's this comfort entry function, so when you turn on the ignition, the seat moves forward a little bit. So when I'm here in a normal seating position here now with 189 or 6'2", then the headroom is still there, so it works also for tall adults. You sit indeed lower than in the Ioniq 5, but overall actually makes so far a quite comfortable position. Steering wheel, manual control, up, down, in and out, very smooth from the process. And what's interesting, you can get this relax seat function, and you can have it driver and co-driver side. It is actually this button here, down there, this one here. But I can also control it here with this gentleman's function from here. So I can do it parallel with my seat. So for example, think about a charging stop or something, and you need like 18 minutes from 10 to 80% state of charge. So when you look at that here, that it stands here in this area in the proper way. In the Korean spec, I heard there's also a special additional tablet available. Maybe we get that one later or something. But I think it's overall a good idea to have this workstation idea. Interior overview, 2 times 12.25 inch screens in this one unit design. Very clean layout, horizontal stress here. Once again, this nice dot design. You also still have some manual things like the volume jog right here and also the climate unit here, which can be controlled right there. Super interesting cockpit POV, right side. And also on the left side you have the digital mirrors. You can also adjust them right here, but actually it's not that much needed to adjust them. When you have the normal side mirrors, the interior looks like this. This is where the mirrors would be placed, but this design element then is just a little bit lower. Instruments, clear to read. You can cycle through different options right here, but even more impressive when you switch it through the driving modes, normal, sport, eco, and when you press and hold the button, then you can also get to your special My Drive mode. And while you're switching through the modes, you can see here these animations on the steering wheel with these light dots or LED dots. And they are also active, by the way, when you charge the vehicle and serve as an additional charge meter. Rest of the infotainment system, what I find a little bit too complicated, you have a hotkey in the lower part, you see here, but then you have to activate the seat heating in the menu, also the steering wheel heating. I would wish a separate button for that, but that, you know, that's a general car trend. This, the main menu, has quite good overview indeed. The car internal GPS is still somewhat interesting and necessary in a way, because when you set here a GPS point to a charging station, then you can also have the battery preheating for the winter time, that the DC charging also works in cold temperatures. Other than that, Apple CarPlay integration looks like this, and with Auto also possible, both with cable only. And the Bose sound system here, yeah, actually it has a notable bass always, like the Bose systems do, but I really like the sound indeed. You also get a small head-up display. The glove box is really interesting, opens like this. Middle console. Here again, this even surface for the laptop. And then you have inductive charging pin in front, USB-A charger, cup holders, adaptive and really large. Then you have, it's like a rough surface, which looks kind of cool. You have the window levers on the inside then, that the doors stay clean. Then you have this properly attached cover, and underneath more space. And even more space here underneath this floating console. Welcome to the rear seating area. Can really just say it like this. This is a premium vehicle. This has a lot of luxury style indeed. Yes, the inside of the doors is hard-packed, but the structure makes it also premium from the looks indeed. Then you can fold down this here, not adaptive for cup holders though, but from, you know, like closing and opening everything really makes a very solid quality impression. And then there are here some 2 USB-C chargers, and you can also see that we have this totally even floor, so they're really using this EV platform. And here in the back part of the seats, slide this open and you have a proper power socket. We are the channel of details, and that's why we also appreciate attention to details from the manufacturers, like this dot design button for the electric hatch. That's quite cool, by the way. And oh, also, do you see here right now, this color is called Gravity Gold Matte. And you might say, hey, it's just a matte silver. Well, here you can see these golden nuances now in that sunlight. Very beautiful. And now let's press this special button, and you can see here electric hatch indeed, yeah. But it is not a hatch style like in the Ioniq 5. It's more, even though this is electric, a classic trunk style. And here you can see this trunk. That's the thing now. The Ioniq 5 has 530 liters. This one here is 400 liters of trunk. So that sounds little because the height is limited. And storage for cables here in the lower compartment of the trunk, small one at least. Or you use the tiny frunk, 45 liters, but for some things it works. Welcome to Thomas's driving lounge with the Ioniq 6, acceleration 0 to 50 in this case, sport mode. Plop. Whoa, that went really quick indeed. So yeah, I also got a slide from the passenger seat. Yeah, so it is definitely quick enough to also impress your passengers. The driving modes, when you pin it down, then you have the very same acceleration boost. I talked to the engineer about that. It's just that depending, if you're in eco mode, for example, then like this acceleration curve is more like this. And when you're in the sport mode, it's more like this. So it reacts quicker, but at pin down, actually, they always give you maximum power output. I said earlier, to 100 kilometers an hour, 62 miles an hour, figure is 5.1 seconds, actually. Here with the overdrive model and the big battery. Now I'll also zero out the consumption figure. We'll do a big loop now for you, and then we can also give you a realistic figure about the consumption, energy consumption. Here now, first time on the highway, 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour, and so far, so good. From the noise insulation and so on, these aerodynamic factors always help, in this case, of course, to make also the ride more silent. Difference to the Ioniq 5 in the driving feeling, that's very interesting, of course, because they have both the low center of gravity and they have so many equal parts. They both feel kind of similar, yes, but here you more get the feeling of like an executive sedan ride. A little bit longer, a little bit lower, and I would say in the city, maybe dropping off your kids or something, and you have maybe a little bit more overview sitting higher, the Ioniq 5 would suit me better. But when I drive a little bit faster and want more calmness, want to enjoy these aerodynamic factors, here on the motorway, the faster you go, there I would say that the Ioniq 6 has the advantage. It just feels more suitable then for higher speeds. It feels more suitable for, you know, this kind of sedan luxury experience, you know what I mean? But here, yeah, having a lot of fun indeed. This guy wants to overtake, I think. Yeah, and that's easily done. You always have some power reserves left. Actually pretty cool, like that. And also the good brake blending. So most of the time you use the recuperation or regenerative braking. When you need more braking power, then actually the rear brakes are being applied. And you always get the feeling that you maybe would just use the normal brakes. That's actually totally fine. Consumption and real-world range for today. We did a testing cycle with motorway, countryside roads, city, so everything in it, a realistic mix indeed. And we ended up just a little bit below 18 kilowatt hours on 100 kilometers. That is some 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Well, of course, you should compare the competitors internally, like the Kia EV6, but there's also the ID.7 coming up by VW.